All right, guys, it has been a long time since I've done a 3-star my bag round. Had someone reach out to me, basically say, hey, you forgot to do my bag. So I said, sure, sorry, I haven't done these in a while, and I apologize to anyone else that sent me their bags and I haven't done them yet. If you still want me to do your bag, then send it to me, remind me, and I'll try to get back in the rhythm of doing these because I do really enjoy them. So downtown was one of the couple of courses that he hadn't gotten a 3-star yet. This is a DGV player named Gunnar, and I'm excited to throw his bag and see if we can get 3 stars on downtown. So I had to ask him about his name. Gunnar is actually my grandpa's name, my nephew's name, and I asked him where the name came from because it wasn't one of his names, but he said it was his great grandfather's name. So that's pretty cool. We have that in common. Always a cool name to see, not very common name, so had to ask about that one. He's been playing for a couple years, and I think he said he's level 300 something. But he's got an awesome bag. I'm excited to throw it. Again, this is always something that I really enjoy, trying to match bags as best I can. As you can see, I got it pretty good. I have a lot of these discs that he has. I meant to ask where he got that fuse from because I don't recognize that stamp. But the only disc that he had that I didn't have, which I was a little surprised, was a Turn Glide Strive. I didn't have one. So the closest thing I could think of that I have is a Turn Glide Gold, a little less stable than the Rive. Same with the Strive. I think the Strive is even a little more understable than the Gold, but both pretty similar as far as distance and flight. So I figured that'd be a good substitute. As far as his putters, it's basically the same as my putter pouch, so I'm definitely very familiar there. He's got the fuse instead of the Sphea, so it's just minor adjustments there, but he does have the Warship. He's got the same sticky Explorer that I'm used to. Obviously, I love the PD. The other fairways, he's got a roll Sapphire instead of a sticky, which is what I'm used to. Still nice to have either a roll or a sticky fairway. You can use that for lots of ace runs and just upshots, trying to keep it close to the basket. He's also got the Glide Sapphire and then the Windbreak Sapphire, so a little bit of redundancy there between the PD, the Sapphire, and the Windbreak Sapphire. I think he could use one of those spots and probably do a skip fairway and just open up a lot of options for either ace runs or upshots. There's just a lot of things that I feel like you can do with a skip fairway, or even a water skip fairway for that matter. As far as his distance drivers, obviously I mentioned the Turn Glide Gold instead of the Strive. He's got the Water Skip Rive, which I'm very familiar with. I bag the Gold most often, but I do have the Water Skip Rive in one of my bags. And then the Glide Skip Rive, the Glide Roll Rive, and then the Light Glide Rive. The only thing he doesn't have that a lot of players have is kind of one of the skippy flippy drivers, Paradigm, Captain, Enigma, one of those that a lot of really good players have that I like to use sometimes, but that's the only other kind of gap that I can see in his bag. Otherwise, very excited to throw this bag. It shouldn't take too long to get downtown, so let's see how we do. And take another look. I can't remember the score needed for downtown to get 3 stars. All right, here it is. So the par is 34. You got to get 25, so you got to get 9 under to get 3 stars, which shouldn't be that difficult. And this is actually one of the best rewarding courses, I feel like. You get this awesome Glow Pure, you get a skip recoil, and you get this awesome Glide musket. So both glow discs that you'll see in a lot of people's bags still up to this day. Can't remember what this badge is. Oh, you got to do it in under a certain time. But you can tell I haven't grinded Challenge of Valley. My best is still only 24. So that's what, 10 under, so that's only 1 eagle, so not great. But here we go, downtown with Gunner's bag. Start off with the Glide Skip Rive. Aim point I use middle chevron on the base of that pole, and then at one wind I'll do about that much hyzer, but we're going to take a little bit off in this 2 right to left tailwind. And we're basically trying to hit this gap in between the poles and all those trees. If you can hit that gap, you're going to have a much easier hole. You can try to get more distance by putting more hyzer, but then you're having to deal with those trees, and it just makes it harder if you hit tree early. Let's see, I'm going to go roll Sapphire, but we got a big tailwind, so I'm powering that down just a touch. Hopefully this checks up for me and doesn't roll. Ooh, it almost started rolling, and that's one of the reasons. As soon as you can switch out this roll sapphire with a sticky sapphire, I would definitely recommend that. But we get the birdie there, put it in with his link, and moving on to hole 2. Hole 2, I like to ace run it with my skip sapphire. Definitely not the safest play, especially in this wind. And I think what we're going to do here, we're going to go with the PD, just slide right. We're going to go with a low forehand and just try to hit the hill pretty early and just let it kind of find its way up the hill in this tailwind. You don't want to get too much air under it with this big tailwind, because then you'll carry too far and you risk going out of bounds. But we get another birdie, so 2 under after 2. Hole 3 is another one that I like to run a lot, especially in multiplayer. But the safe line, we got a tough wind here. I usually throw Vandal here, but with this bag, I think we're going to go with the Windbreak Sapphire. We're definitely going to have to power it down. I'm going to aim right in between these trees. And the goal here is try to slide it up just to the top of the hill. I don't really want to fly too far past the top of the hill, because then you could potentially flip up and roll, or just keep sliding and you go OB. So let's see how this does. I mean, that's, oh, even there, it almost tried to flip up and roll. So, but that's a perfect leave. Anytime I can get a putt, that's plenty close. But the danger here is just going too far. So he actually prefers putting. He even mentioned he wishes it was a requirement to putt inside of 50 feet. I think that was an interesting comment. Kind of made me think. I kind of wish the game would do that. But I know, putting on a PC is difficult. I know they're never going to do that. There's no way to kind of regulate that right now the way it's currently set up. But definitely an interesting comment. I like putting inside 50 feet. I feel like it makes the game somewhat more realistic. And he's a fan of putting as well. His throw-in disc is the fuse. So anytime I have a chance, I'm going to try to use the fuse for throw-ins. This one, I usually go turn glide rive, but we're going to go with this turn gold. So I usually aim somewhere along this pole here. I'm going to go a little higher just because this should turn a little more. And we have a little bit of a left to right. This is a really risky line. I usually don't try to turn it this much. Oh, we're going to get super lucky. So we're going to have a pretty good look at this. Let's see, 186. So I would normally go pure here or link, but because he's a fuse thrower, I'm going to try my best here. I'm just going to leave default aim, try to put some hyzer, because that fuse is going to want to turn from this distance. And let's see if we could judge the distance somewhat right. Oh, it's still carried long. So again, I'm not very good with that fuse throw-in. He could probably have gotten closer than that, but I know a lot of players go default aim with the fuse for their throw-ins. But there we go. We get a 55-footer with the fuse. It's going to be very similar for the Svea that I'm used to. Just a little more lift in the fuse. This one, perfect disc for this drive, is a light glide. I know a lot of people do like a glide skip and aim kind of far over to the left. But if you aim right at this light pole with a light glide, especially in these calm winds, it's pretty easy to get a good drive. If you can avoid that tree and these poles, which we do, then you're going to be sitting in a great position for this second shot. 542, let's see. So pretty much just any distance driver is going to carry the water. Sometimes I've been going forehand, but I think I'm going to go backhand here. This is a light glide. Let's go glide skip. I think we can still skip this and not have to worry about going long. And what this does is, if I get in line with the bushes, which looks like I'm going to do, it'll skip over them, versus a light glide would have just slid right into them. So that far back, I still kind of like throwing the skip just in case I'm off my line a little bit. I can get through or over those bushes. So we get that eagle. Looks like we're 6 under after 5. Let's see what the wind is doing on 6. I kind of miss playing this next hole without water skip. Water skip made it so much easier. But it looks like we're going to have a big wind. So sometimes a big wind on this hole can complicate things. But we have a tailwind, so it shouldn't be too bad. Instead of glide sapphire, I'm just going to throw the glide PD. I don't want to get too close to the fence on this shot. And throwing the PD kind of ensures that I don't go too far. It's not the most helping wind here, but I should still have plenty of distance, plenty of carry with this water skip rive. It's going to be cutting it. No, that'll get up there. One skip for the easy eagle. So if you can eagle 5 and 6, you got a good chance to 3-star this layout. Hole 7 is a par 3. Let's see what the wind's doing here. Ooh, another big wind. So let's see. I'm not sure if the Explorer gets there in 3 tailwind. I always just go roll sapphire or sticky sapphire. I try to go just right of the basket and kind of hit the wall right to the left of the bridge, because then it stops. That's like the one sure spot you can hit that wall and just stops. So that's kind of my goal here, since it's going to be coming in hot. Oh, right there. So it stopped nicely. Even if you hit the basket, like if you go ahead on the basket and hit that base, sometimes you'll bounce off and go into the water. So I prefer missing it to the right. If you miss to the left of the basket, you either hit that rock into the water, or sometimes even if you hit the barrier, it still kind of climbs over or hops over. So I would recommend just right of the basket. This is like the perfect PD shot, top chevron, just right in the middle of the fairway, where this fairway meets the road, and then a straight pull will get you right to about here every time. You don't have to worry about it going long. And then from here, I just like to go light glide over the top. Sometimes I'll go glide skip if I want to give it some sort of a chance and go a little lower. But you can see there, light glide, even if you catch some collision, it usually fights through and gives you a putt there. So 8 holes in, and we are sitting at 9 under or 10 under. So a birdie here, and we get 11 under. This is not the easiest hole. Oh, a tough wind too. The water skip is a great disc here, so top chevron right in between those trees. But with this wind, I'm going to have to definitely power down and put some anhyzer. So I'm going to do about a disc of anhyzer right in between the last 2 Wi-Fi symbols. And again, I'm not as good with the Rive as I am the Gold, and I didn't turn it enough. Hopefully this doesn't hop over the curb. Okay. Ooh, that was close. Always a testy drive here, but we got it within 60 feet. This is the fuse. Finish it off with the fuse. Nice. So we get that 11 under downtown. Shoot, that might be my new course record, because I just have not grinded this course much. But that's a fun bag that Gunnar has. It was fun to use it. Hopefully this helps him get his 3-star round. I don't think it's one of those courses that you have to grind for an eagle on the first hole, because that's a tough eagle to get, and there's plenty of opportunities to get that 9 under. Even if you get a par, you got holes 5 and 6 to get the eagle, and then that gives you some leeway to continue and get that 9 under. So good luck, Gunnar, getting your 3-star. Again, if anyone else sent me their bag before and I never did it, let me know. Or if you're interested in me using your bag to get 3 stars on any course, including the new Foxtail Meadows, let me know. This is definitely a series I've always enjoyed and want to get back to it. But hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching me play some DGV.